Hey guys, and welcome back to the Oklahoma Girls Kitchen. I'm so glad you could join me today. I'm Angie Ellison, and in today's episode, have I got a treat for you, my Aunt Jean's carrot cake. Just doesn't get any better than that. So let's get started. Okay, so in this bowl, we're gonna start with our dry ingredients. And we're gonna go ahead and sift 2 cups of flour. Now I used the self-rising flour. If you wanted to use your all-purpose flour, you could and just add your salt and your baking soda. But I'm gonna go ahead and use my self-rising flour. Put in our 2 cups of sugar. We're also going to add our cinnamon, which is 1 teaspoon. And we're gonna stir this around really good and just kind of get it all incorporated. Because in another bowl, we're gonna mix our wet ingredients, and we will pour that with our flour. So let's go ahead and get this stirred in really good. So we have 3 eggs in the bowl. We have 1 more to put in. So there's our 4 eggs. And then we are going to whisk these really good together, get them all broke up. And then we are going to pour these into our big bowl with our carrots and our other wet ingredients. You know, my mama always told me to break your eggs in a little bowl before you ever put them into your big bowl, because you can get a bad egg. And I've had that happen before, so mamas are right. So now we're going to put in our 3 cups of carrots. This is our carrot cake, right? When I bought my carrots, these were matchstick carrots, so they were pretty long. And I just chopped them up with my chopper just a little bit, but you can find them shredded, which really helps a whole lot. I've got a 1 1/4 cup of oil. This is just vegetable oil. And we are going to mix all of this together really good. So it's time to start incorporating our dry ingredients in with our wet. We've got our flour here. And we're gonna start just putting in just a little bit at a time, because I'm telling you, you can wear this very easily if you're not careful. This flour can go all over you, and I've had that happen to me before. So let's go ahead and start getting it all mixed together. This is going to make 3 cakes, and these are 9-inch cake pans. So I'm going to start ladling this out, just a ladle at a time per pan. That way I can try to get them as even as I can. And if they're not totally even, it's no big deal, because that glorious icing is going to go on, and you're never even going to know it. We've got our oven preheated to 350, so we're ready to start putting in a ladle at a time. And you'll notice that this is pretty thick. And like I said, if it's not all completely even, and I just kind of do all 3 at a time, then you can just go back and fill in like whichever ones you think might need a little bit more. This is probably the prettiest cake I think I've ever seen. All these little orange pieces in it are so beautiful. Okay, so now I'm just going to go back and I'm just going to kind of start filling in. It's gonna look like this cake is pretty thin, each layer, and they really are, but when you get them iced and you get all 3 of those cakes on that beautiful cake stand, it's gonna be absolutely glorious. I'm gonna go ahead and tap these pans just a little bit. And what this does is release the air bubbles that's in it, so when they bake beautifully. They're gonna go in the oven now. So let's get them in. Let's get these beautiful cakes in the oven. This is gonna go in for 30 to 40 minutes. And we're gonna take a look at them. They should be just a beautiful golden brown on top. And when those come out, we're gonna have our icing ready to go on. So we're gonna start our icing now. So I'm gonna double my recipe as I talked about before. We're gonna have 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, which I have here. And then we have 2 sticks of butter, which I have melted. Got that ready to go in. And we have 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then we're gonna go ahead and start mixing this together before we add in our confectioner sugar, our coconut, and our pecans. So we're just gonna kind of turn it on low. Our butter and our cream cheese is all mixed nicely together and it's so creamy. So we are going to start adding in our confectioner sugar, and we're just going to add a little bit at a time because this is kind of like the flour. You can wear this too and it will go everywhere. We're ready to add in the coconut, and I have 2 cups of coconut. And then we're going to add in our pecans, which are going to be 2 cups too. So you can leave those out. It will still be good. This is the most beautiful concoction I think I've ever seen. There is nothing any better in my book than coconut, cream cheese, and pecans. We are ready to start icing our beautiful cakes. So let's get going. I mean, look at this icing. Is this not just glorious? Now I'm just going to use my knife that I love to use in icing because I feel like I can control this really well. So let's get it on. And like I said, I like a lot of icing, so that's what I'm going for. So on goes the second layer. And here goes this beautiful icing on the end. You might have quite a bit of icing left or a little bit of icing left. I put mine on really thick, so I really don't think I'm gonna have a whole lot left, but if I did, I would save that and I would make some cupcakes or something that would be wonderful and delicious, just like these cakes. And I would not dare waste any of this icing because this is heavenly. And we'll go for the third. Look how high that is. And it stands so proud, just like it should. It's in honor of someone that was very special to my heart, which was my Aunt Jean. And the story behind this cake, because I feel like I need to share it, is every summer that we would go from Oklahoma to Alabama for vacation and see all of our family that lived there, she had this cake made for us. So my Aunt Jean was my Uncle Houston's wife, and my Uncle Houston was my daddy's brother. And she was a terrific cook and could bake anything. She had 5 children, and she was a busy mother. But this cake was always waiting for us when we got there. And from the first time I ate it, I fell absolutely in love with it. So we are going to get this iced around. Kind of pull some of this over to the sides. And it's just such a good fall cake too. It's a good anytime cake in my book. All right, look at this beautiful cake. What did I tell you? Does this not look gorgeous? If you've never had a carrot cake, now is the time to bake this and try it. And if you have had a carrot cake, this is the best carrot cake you will have ever had. So I want you to get in your kitchen and try it. This is a tribute to my Aunt Jean, and she would be so proud. Try it. Okay, so we're ready to cut into this heavenly cake. And I cannot hardly wait. Okay, let's finish this up and get this baby out. Are you ready? Because I sure am. Oh my goodness, look at that. I told you. Is it not just wonderful? Okay, the time has come. I wish you were here to take a bite of this with me. It is definitely a thumbs up. So good, so creamy. Those pecans, the cinnamon, the cream cheese, the coconut, it's out of this world. I can only say thank you, Aunt Jean, for this wonderful recipe. I will treasure it forever, and I know you guys will too. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. It will be linked in the description below. And until I see you next week, best wishes from the Oklahoma Girls Kitchen. Bye.